Today we will be designing an arrow section. What is an arrow section? Let me explain what an arrow section is. So a quick explanation of what arrow sections are would be to select my frame and choose my desktop. So an arrow section an arrow section is a section of a website above the fold. The fold is the part you do not see on your laptop, on a computer, on a design. Let me get you an example of what a node section looks like. So I'll explain what an arrow section is. Arrow section is the first section of any website. Mostly, the area you see on a website that does not show anything below your screen. If you have to scroll down a bit on any website, the area beneath where you scroll is not the arrow section. So the arrow section is the first section that captures the viewer's attention or the customer's attention on a website. So I will be showing you what an arrow section looks like shortly. So for example, we look at this website and you can see what it looks like. So the area here, sorry, this area, oh, please just forgive me. For this area is the area that shows on your computer. This is the arrow section of any website. The area above the fold. So they call it above the fold. So we'll be designing an arrow section today. And to start this, we need to first s- select our frame. This is what we are going to be designing on. This is our desktop site. We've chosen it by choosing desktop, and we've chosen desktop size 1440 by 1024. Next thing, we'll be splitting our desktop into columns. I have explained before that for you to work with a developer who takes your designs from the UI and makes it into an actual site, you need to understand how to use columns and grid because this would help the developer create, it in with good layouts and understand, how to split their designs properly. It also helps you with consistency. So we'll choose columns and we'll choose 12 and give a margin of 120 plus the 120 today. Okay. 140. So next we'll give it a cutout of 24. You can always change color to whatever suits you. So next thing we want to do is we want to create our logo. So to create your logo, you could just simply just click here and come here. Then you can choose iconify, and from iconify you can create an icon of a logo. So since we'll be creating a Notion landing page for chronology, I'll just choose one of these ones. I'll just drag it out. I have showed us how to create our logo, how to create our plugins. The second plugin I'll teach us to make today. So next thing we want to have a text next to it that says lotion. I'll put the text size as 24 or 32 and bring it close. I would select both and group. No, sorry. This is it. I'll change the text here. It shows selected colors to my purple. No, sorry, that's not purple, obviously. That's orange. Yes, I'll put that here. Then next we have our sections. We have we'll create our menu here. And our menus are products. I'll move the size to 24. It's still too much. It's usually about 20. And I would duplicate it. Alt plus click and drag. And I would add ingredients and sorry, reviews and outlets. So next you can select all of them together and use this um, to equal space between each of these items. So tidy up would make sure that the space between products and ingredients is the same, the space between ingredient and our story is the same. So I'll select everything again to make sure they're on the same line. I'll use this alignment tool, vertical alignment. And a good way to know how to space your items is to look at here. We have 53. It's showing the space between all of them. So mostly, I told you in the previous videos that you could use 20 8 pixel grid. So we'll do a multiple of 8, and we'll just say 32 pixels between all of them, and then we'll now group all of them together. You can use Ctrl G or Shift A, but I'm not teaching us how to use Shift A yet because that's for another class I'll be teaching on. And we'll change text like this, and we'll bring it in here. Next thing, we want to have our strong image here that says something. So we could draw a rectangle. Usually, I would tell us this for the sake of the future. I mostly prefer to use um, frames instead of rectangles. I would explain it to us someday, and I'll just keep it like this and move it upward. And we use a new plugin today called Unsplash. So you right click, you go here, you can click on find more plugins, then you type Unsplash, and then you install Unsplash inside your Figma. But I already have Unsplash, and I'll just go here and open Unsplash so it loads. You have to just wait for a couple of minutes so it comes out. So with Unsplash, we can import pictures. Another way is to go to the website unsplash.com and then bring the picture inside here and use it. So the product I'm using is called Prology. I made the design before, but I wanted to start from the beginning. This is the Anthem guide we used before. So instead, I'll just keep searching. This is actually time consuming. I can just go to my laptop and search the image. But I wanted us to understand how to use this. So this is the picture we used before. So I'll just select it. Yeah. So there we go. We already have this picture, and then I close that tab. So would say T for text. You press T for text, and you can now say natural products for best results. And we can bump this text size up to 64. 64 seems too small. I'll do 98. Then we'll change the color to black and change the weight to semi bold. Then we bring it here and then we now squeeze this up. Ooh, this looks too large. It's not bad. Why? Because in such a way it's a balance between these two items, the left and the right. This and this are balanced, you know. But I would decide to go 80, 80 and just put it here. Then next there's a text underneath that says, okay, before we go there, we want to have a line that spans from here to the bottom. So you could just use line or P, press P or L. You could do pen and just draw a line across straight here. But instead, I'll rather use line for now, and I'll just drag, left click and drag, and just go here. This is still minus 0.1 to present degree. I'll just put 0 degree, and I'll reduce the opacity of the stroke till it is barely visible. Then I will select this one and select this one and group them. Control G to group them, and I'll just put it like this. So see, we are making progress, and next thing we want to do is perhaps maybe increase this to bold. Yes. Then next thing we want to do is duplicate. Then we want to write a subtext. So in design we have H1. H1 is usually the largest text on the website, and we have H2, H2, H3. So H1 and H2 will be 64 maybe. H3 will be 32 probably on the website. And then we always have H4 also. H4 might be 18 or 16. So let's do this and make an H4 text or a subtext. So we'll be doing 20. Let's do 20, and let's decrease the font to regular. And we can now say cover, cover, fully personalized routine from shampoo to supplements. So bump this to the side and make sure that these two texts are on the same line because you want your design to be clean. That's why we do this. Next thing, we have a text that says shop now. And on top of that, when we have something like this, instead of doing it like this manually, we can just use this to org the text. Then, if you're a newbie, you might want to make your button here by drawing a rectangle, giving it a color. Let's use something deep. Give it a border radius of 8, and give it text and insert it here. The text is not coming in front. You right click and then you bring to the front. You change the text color to white. There's a faster method to do this. I would do it now, and I hope you get it. It's called auto layout option. So I would come here now. I have the text here. I'll just press Shift A on my computer, and I'll go to the bottom and give it a black text. Then I'll give it a fill. Select again, give it a fill. Give it the color. Change this to white. Then I can even now center it from here and space in between. Then increase the top padding to 16, radius of it. So if you cannot do this, you could just do the rectangle behind and the text in front and just space between. Then next we want to add our icon and we'll go to plugins, iconify, and search for arrow. I already add it here. This is the arrow, so I just pull it out. And why auto layout is better? This button is made from auto layout. This is just a regular rectangle and a text. You take this and then you bring it into a. It's that fast with auto layout. Auto layout is something you should learn in the future. It helps us work faster in design. But if you're using the regular rectangle, you have to just bring it here and you have to now space it, take it, and hold shift and hold and select. Then you can space make a space between shop and now from here using it. And then you can now go with Control G. Now select this and shift on the button rectangle behind. You can now justify. You now Control G to group. You can see this one and this one are both different the way they were created. So I'll use my auto layout button and just bring it here. So we are almost done with the design. We're almost done with the design. So I add some squirrely stuff here. So I'll just click on this and use my pencil tool and I'll make a line here. So I don't like it. I'll do this. I prefer this one. So I'll delete this one, select this one and make it into 6 and give it a color. Now, next thing we want to do to make this design pop is to create two rectangles. First rectangle will take the color orange. The second rectangle will take the color of the guy's background. Then I will now select both and group. Control plus G to group. I will go to effect. I will change this to layer blur and I'll increase the blur to 250. And I'll pick it and drag it in and put it behind. Control plus curly bracket. Curly bracket is the one is the icon be after the P on your keyboard. Now press Control then curly brackets left. So it takes it to the bottom and I can just increase this and just do this. I can now duplicate Alt plus left mouse button. Then I can now rotate, and just rotate it like this and just put it inside here. You can see this art design. You can just rename it as chronology hero section. So we can just bring it inside here, select it again, and push it in. So in my previous design, the design I've shown some of us. I would like to have some flowers here. So I would go to my browser and I would search for sunflower. I would search sunflower PNG. Then I will pick this one. It can be very, very difficult. There are websites that PNG website like png3.com, pngwings.com. I would send it to us now so we can all know the name. So you could always go to PNG. We could always go to the mg3.com and so on to find flowers and transparent images for our work. I would drop it in the comment section or in the description, and we'll choose our first sunflower. We could choose this one. I'm not sure you can see what I'm doing, but I'll pick my sunflower and I'll copy and bring it from my browser into this place and press this. As you can see, why we use png.com is because the background of this image is already removed for us. So you can press shift and hold and make it small and bring it into our design. I would like to rotate this and make it larger than it already is. Reduce the layer opacity to 80. It's not so shouty. In design, we have to keep it simple. Okay, so I'll just keep it 60. And then we'll pull this out back, pull it out. Then hold space bar so you don't want it to enter your frame. If you're using frame, it might get into your frame, but we don't want it into our frame. So hold space bar so this image does not enter into the frame. If you're using a rectangle, do not worry, it's not going to enter your rectangle shape. So we'll have this here, and I want more flowers. So I'll go online and I'll find more flowers to use for my work. So I'll pick this one and pick this one. I didn't design earlier, so you could always just go to png3.com and you can always select yours. So I'll put it here, and here I'll do this and make it large. Okay, so we already have a design. Let us see what it looks like in the prototype mode. So while we are waiting, we will continue designing while it's still working, trying to load. We still have two more items to place here in our design. So we could always just make a rectangle like this, or I'll just do a frame. I'll press F and draw a frame, small rectangle. I'll duplicate the rectangle. So we have this one, and I'll duplicate it. Next thing, I would go to Unsplash again. It seems like in my previous design or previous video, I gave this a border radius. So I'll just give the border radius of 8 or 16, depending on what you want to use. So now I would come here and search chronology. Chronology. Why am I doing this? We're trying to showcase a product, so we have to try our best and show all there is to the product. So the first item is this one. Let's hold this down and just select. Then the other one is this one. I'll just select it. So we already have our two products. Next thing, we want to have the name of this product on that. So we could just select T for text and just write chronology and just change the text to 32 and just have it inside No, do not have it inside anywhere. I will just select the two, and we could always just press Shift A, or we could just give it its own background and say that this is 192 by 251. I'm thinking of a very, very easy way for you to start. Yeah, I'll just draw this. So I'll say this is 192 251. I'll just say width 192 280. I'll drag this into. Okay, it's not going to be drag because it's not a frame. Update and draw a frame and say 191. Okay, that's 192 and 280. Right, and then I'll drag this into this. So this is frame 6 and frame 7. I'll come here and do that instead. I want frame 6 inside frame 7. Then I'll drag it here. So I need space to write my chronology text. I'll just reduce the opacity and change it to semi. So I'll select frame 7 and give it a bit of a space. Then I'll pull this in and change this to 24. Then underneath I would have another text that says upload data names and reduce this to 10. Estimate on space. I would just nudge it a bit. Then I'll give the price, the pricing. I could just reduce the opacity of this one a bit to something like this and give it a price $39 and more here and change the color to any of the deep colors I have. Now, well, I would try to give it effects of some shadows. Before I do that, I would give it border radius also. No, Control Z, that's a mistake. Radius of 4. Then drop shadow. When you're doing drop shadows, you don't want to have so much shadow. You want to have like 10 of 50. So you could also just drag it into the design here and just have it bent like this. I would move this up, hold shift and select all to move all to the top. So while this is all being, let us look at our design. You can see this is what we have. Looks beautiful, right? Yeah, we go back and I will just drag this one out back and duplicate and go to 0, and I will just select this and copy, Control C, then select this image inside. You notice that we have frames 6 and 7. Remember, frame 7 is the one outer and we have frame 6 inside. I would select this and right click and place to replace, paste to replace rather. So we have the same thing here. We could always change the price of this one to $9. And this one stay. I did this fast so I could have the same shadow. I would just pull it up here and just have it here. Move this one to the top a bit. So it's touching his eye and yeah, and would have the sunflower here also. I'll just make it small a bit. And you can just go here and just view our design. You can click on this to make it a bit fully. And this is what we have completely done in Figma. So it's not a lot, but it's, you know, this curve over. No, I'm gonna change that, and we will come here and Control plus mouse wheel in. Just call this cover fully personalized routine supplements. So this is how to design in Figma, and I'm always on the upgrade, and I was actually turned on all this while. Okay, no, it wasn't. So basically, we would see that we've been designing a fully integrated system with pattern. You can always just fix. You hold shift and you left click, then you pull it in. Which is how to do it. And so you have your design here, you have your website here. Please leave a comment if you have any questions and you want me to teach something or explain something. I'll be happy to explain. Thank you.